You are listening to Zen and the Art of Triathlon.
Well, hey there, all you triathlon freaks and geeks, and welcome to another great episode of Zen and the Art of Triathlon, the podcast where we go long on endurance and learn a little Zen along the way. All right, this is the Kona special. We have an interview with 10th place female from last year looking to move on up, and also a College Station native right here from where we're broadcasting from, our little town here in Texas, Jocelyn McCauley. We had a nice phone call with her about a week or so ago, and been putting together this podcast to get it out as close to race day as possible. And here we are. We've got, like an interview, an hour-long interview with her, and we go over what it was like getting 10th, and she had much bigger goals last year. She was trying to win the whole thing, and what it was like getting 10th, and what her goals are for this year, and the other athletes that are in the mix. And also something I really like to do, which is go over the pros' gear and their settings on their gadgets, like what screens do they show on their bike computer, what fields do they show, power, miles per hour, time, things like that. And we cover every single sport, swim, bike, run, and how she trains and races with each. So like I said, it's an hour-long interview. It's really, really good. And then also we have some triathlon news, which we'll cover. And I have a training tech tip of sorts. Definitely a training tip. I'm not sure how techy it is, actually. But then also a Zen tip about the wall is the mirror. It's actually really cool. I'm excited to bring that one to you. So let's go ahead and get started with the triathlon news. Here we go. All right. In the week leading up to Kona, historically, the big bike companies, every bike company likes to drop news of their new bikes and show off samples. And a lot of times they'll have pros racing on them for the very first time that you've ever seen them. Get you all excited and stuff. That's where in the past we've had like the Diamondback Andean and the Cervelo P5X. That was past year, 2 years. Really good examples of exotic super bikes showing up. And this year, most bikes haven't changed. They've started adding disc brakes, which does require the frame to be different. So it's a whole new bike. And there is one bike that has really turned things upside down and confused a whole lot of people and just caused all kinds of panic in the triathlon world, and it's Specialized. Up until now, the Specialized SHIV has been very innovative in its own way. It had the fuel bladder in the down tube, and if you didn't know, Felt actually was planning on doing the same thing, but Specialized has a patent on it, and Felt couldn't do it. And if you look at Rennie, Miranda Carfrey's bike, you can see that there's a tube coming out of her down tube, and she rides a Felt. But anyway, so Specialized has had that for a while. Earlier this week, Specialized revealed their new SHIV, and it's crazy looking. It has twin fork blades on the front, and they're not the first to do that. Willier did that a while back and then quit doing it. And it's where the fork blades, they go down to the front wheel, they come straight up and meet the base bar. They don't meet the head tube, they come up and meet the base bar and become part of the handlebars on the bike. It's really a bizarre look, and I'm not really confident that that's faster or not. I don't know one way or the other. Some people think it is, but then you're adding more material, whatever. But that's just the beginning, because the really bizarre thing is they put a fin on the back that you've seen tri bikes where they have like a cargo carrier behind the seat post. I have a Trek Speed Concept, and it's got one. I love it. You can put a ton of stuff in that thing. Well, Specialized put one on the back that is huge, and it holds 2 liters of water, and it's really, really flat. So you can imagine this thing is big to carry that much water, but be really flat. It's almost like a doormat. I mean, the thing is big, and it's coming off the back of the seat post, and it hugs the rear wheel, and it comes up really high up under the seat, and it's thin, and the lid pops off, and you can fill it with water. Before I forget, the bike only has one paint job, and it's that crazy cool paint job where it's my friends and I growing up, we called it a laser paint job, and it's where you change the angle of the light hitting the bike, and it turns from blue to green to purple. It's a beautiful, beautiful paint job. It's really cool. But anyway, so the back of this thing holds 2 liters of fluid, and then a tube runs down through it, or out the bottom of it, through the bottom bracket, and then up the down tube. That's a funny phrase. And then out near up to the headset and up to the handlebars, and comes out there. So it's this long straw. What do you think that is? Like 2.5 feet maybe of straw. I don't know, 3 feet of straw. And some people were like, well, it'd be really hard to suck fluid through a straw that long. No, not really, because it would have fluid above it, so it's pushing on it. So it's got head pressure, sort of, I guess, until you're down to the very last bit. And then another thing is cleaning that tube will be a real pain in the ass, but not really. I've cleaned Camelback tubes and stuff like that, and once you get there's a device that cleans that thing really well, and then you start getting into real particular things. Do you put water? If you put water in it, then it's not going to get that dirty. But if you put sugary stuff in it, like your fuel, then that stuff gets gunked up and nasty after a while. So that would be a little bit harder to clean. And so I was kind of negative on the bike at first. I mean, I thought it looked, I don't know, it just didn't look right. And then something happened. They announced that in partnership with Zwift, which is the software video game that you can ride your bike on the trainer, they announced that they were having a contest on Zwift. If you rode 112 miles on Zwift from Monday, they announced this on Monday, to Saturday night, and 112 miles is the distance in an Ironman bike ride. If you rode that distance, then you had a chance to win the bike. And then I thought, all of a sudden, that bike became a lot more attractive. I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, and then a really weird thing is a standalone object doesn't look all that, that's kind of iffy. You're kind of like, whatever, I don't think I like it, whatever. And then you put super fit athletic people on it, and then, and going at high speed, and all of a sudden there's something about that where you're just like, that looks kind of cool. So now the bike's grown on me, and I actually kind of like it. I was very critical of it first, and then I was like, oh, there's a small chance I could win one, because you could win a bike and get one, and they're a $14,000 bike. Only because there's very few of them. They're not going to make that many at first, and it's what you call a halo bike, where a company makes a top of the line, beyond belief version of a product, and then that makes the company look really, really cool, but they really don't make that many of them. And then the economy of scale says, because they're not making that many of them, they're actually pretty expensive. But it's a showcase of technology of what the company can do. And I'm trying to think of some other companies that do that. I used to have a Honda VFR motorcycle, and that's a Honda motorcycle halo bike. It's beyond, it's technologically beyond anything necessary, and therefore kind of expensive. I bought a used one, so it wasn't expensive at all. But it was an amazing bike, right? So so Zwift is having this contest where you can win one of these bikes riding 112 miles. And as of this recording, I'm on mile 80, and I've got tomorrow all day to finish riding and hit that 112. And I'm super excited, like I can't think of a better a better contest winner than Brett on ZenTri, because we got the big podcast and a lot of Twitter and Instagram followers and stuff, and I could be riding that bike and showing it off. But you never know. I've been riding it around on the Zwift Island, Watopia, for watts is what they call it, and there's just a S-ton SHIV. There's a SHIV ton of it's got disc brakes too, the Specialized SHIV. There's a SHIV ton of people riding that thing too, so my chances are actually kind of small. But first off, you're riding around on the island on that bike. It's pretty cool. They've made the bike and it changes colors while you're riding it, just like the paint job does. And you feel it's really, really bizarre. You do something in a video game, and it feels like you're actually doing it in the real world. In a way, you kind of get over it, or get used to it, whatever it is. They use that kind of training to get people more used to heights, to get them over the fear of heights or the fear of spiders and stuff, and it works. So yeah, I've ridden 80 miles on the new $14,000 Specialized SHIV. in a way whatsoever. And let's see, what else does that bike have? I think that's the two big crazy things. Yeah, it's got disc brakes. Some other bikes, like I said, have dropped, quote unquote. I just saw today Quintana Roo has released a white version of their bike, of their PR6. One, I really like Quintana Roos, and then also I really like white bikes because you can wear any kit and you'll match your bike. And you could with the black bike as well, but I don't like riding black bikes with the blacked out logos and stuff like that, or even regular logos on the open road, because if you want to be seen by a car, you want everything on you as bright as possible. And let's go ahead and brighten up the bike, because you're going to be on it, so might as well brighten that up. And that's why I'm a big fan of white bikes. My past two bikes, many of my bikes have been white, and I've always liked it. I've had black bikes and red bikes and stuff too. But let's see. Oh man, I used to have a Cannondale full suspension mountain bike. Oh, it was so rad. It was so rad. Loved that bike. Let's see, what else is out there? Garmin released a new watch. Polar's watch is super cool. They released a watch that they've got it right. Black watch with a silver crown with a little red mark on the side or two. Looks professional. Looks how a watch should look. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's about all the technology stuff. But keep your eye out. There may be another bike or two that gets released. So the big thing is just disc brakes. The problem with disc brakes is people have invested a lot of money in race wheels, especially aerodynamic race wheels that don't have discs on them. And if you buy a new bike, then you got to buy new wheels. If you buy a disc brake bike, then you got to buy new race wheels. And they may or may not. It's kind of iffy. Kind of depends on who you talk to, if those are actually more aero or not. So when you add the disc to them, so you got a lot of confused and upset people out there with the whole disc brake thing. But we're not going to get into that. That's kind of like that's a lose argument there. You're not going to come out on the winning end of that. Technology moves forward, and man, if you've ridden a bike with disc brakes on it, it's absolutely amazing. It's amazing. And if you live where it's hilly, yeah, disc brakes are the way to go. They're pretty great. But for example, I live where it's really flat, so I don't really need disc brakes. But disc brakes would still be nice. I ride a mountain bike that has disc brakes on it, and almost anywhere you live, mountain bikes with disc brakes perform a whole lot better than rim brakes. So I can appreciate them. I'm a fan. But my tri bike, I have a Trek Speed Concept, and they have not gone disc brake yet. So I'm still riding race wheels, Zips from 2007, I think, and they're still great, really good wheels. But anyway, let's see. Let's talk for a minute about a training tip, sort of a technological tip, because I figured it out riding Zwift, riding the video game. I've noticed, riding the trainer, you can recreate, you can ride the same route over and over and over again, and it's so consistent that it makes it very easy to pick up on nuances that you wouldn't normally notice in the outdoor world. So if you're riding out, out in the terrain, you got your weather, got your wind and everything like that. You don't really know what's working and what's not so much because you don't have a standard to compare things against. But on Zwift, the video game has physics in it, so you work your way up and then go down, and it goes faster on the downhill and all that stuff, and you plug in your weight, and it's very controlled and very consistent. So you can try different things and see what works and what doesn't. You can ride the same hill over and over and over again, and it's going to be the exact same hill or the exact same loop over and over and over again, and you can try different things. And then when you ride it again, you can compare what you did this time versus last time and go, okay, this fuel worked better, or this cadence worked better. I went faster for sure. This position on the bike worked better. I was able to breathe. I spread out my elbow pads, for example, a little bit, and all of a sudden I can breathe a whole lot better, and I quit having pain in my hip. And if you're doing that out on the open road, it's kind of hard to tell. But something I read a while back was some advice was don't stop pedaling on the downhills. And the reasoning is if you coast on the downhills, your legs, because you're not moving them, they kind of lock up. And it's not that I didn't understand. I just didn't really appreciate it, and I think it was bad phrasing. What I found instead, which I've been testing out, that actually works and makes sense and is a phrasing that is easy to remember and more useful, is that pedal on the downhills because pedaling moves your legs, and moving your legs helps the blood flow through your legs. And because you just went up and you worked a little bit extra hard on the way up and over, your legs are going to be kind of tired. And pedaling on the way down flushes out the stuff that's still the junk in your legs from going up. And even more detailed than that, what I mean is you pedal up and your legs are full of blood that's kind of depleted in oxygen a little bit. Got a little bit of extra lactic acid in there. There's probably other byproducts of your blood's depleted of blood sugar. They're kind of spent. And you know how if you sit too long the wrong way and your leg goes asleep, and the fastest way to get your leg or your limbs or whatever to come back awake is to move them. You don't want to because it burns and tingles and stuff. But the fastest way to bring something back to life is to move it, shake it, Well, your legs going up and over a hill are full of junk and they're kind of worn out. And I've been testing this riding a route over and over and over and over again. It's like a 8-mile loop, I guess. Is it 8 miles? Yeah, it's about 8 miles. And it's got several hills in it. And what I figured out is if you put your bike in, you climb up over the hill, and then on the downhill on the other side, you pop it into an easier gear, and then you actually you pedal kind of fast, but with very low resistance. And that way you can turn over your legs pretty fast, but you're not pushing hard on anything. And you don't need to push hard on anything because you're already going downhill. you get your speed going up downhill first, and then you do what I'm about to say. You pedal high RPM but low pressure on the pedals, and what that does is it draws fresh blood into your legs, and that fresh blood pumps out the old blood. But because you're not pushing, you're pedaling with almost no resistance, your muscles really aren't doing that much work. Then the fresh blood comes into your legs, but the blood's happy. It's not really doing anything. It's not getting depleted because you're not really working your legs. And let's say you were doing like 300 watts on the way up. Well, on the way down, you're doing like 50 watts. Hardly anything at all. And it makes your legs feel so much better and full of good stuff and re-energized. It's really bizarre how well it works. And I've tried different stuff. I've tried, pedaling slowly downhill, medium downhill, not pedaling at all downhill, And it turns out the thing that works the best is high cadence, so 90 plus RPM, but very low pressure on the pedals downhill, and it flushes the bad stuff out of your legs and pumps your legs full of good stuff. So when you hit the flat ground again, you're pedaling along and feeling really, really strong. It's really bizarre. So I'd like for y'all to give that a try and see what you think. Okay, before we get into the interview, we have one last thing, and it is our Zen lesson for the podcast. I was about to say for the week. It's been about 2 weeks. But anyway, and it's the wall is the mirror. So there's this thing in Zen, and a lot of Eastern, I guess you could call them religions, but whatever, where you meditate. And Zen has a method of meditation where they sit and face a wall, a blank wall. And there's you can go online and look at pictures of a Zen meditation center, temple, or whatever they want to call it. And it's people sitting on these pillow-like cushions with their legs crossed or whatever. You don't have to sit that way, by the way. They really don't care. If you've got knee pain, let's say you're older and you're like your legs don't want to do that, you can sit in a chair. You can sit however you want. But anyway, it's these people facing a wall. So there'll be like a room. Say there's a room that's like 15 feet by 30 feet. There'll be 20 people in there. But all of them are almost up against the wall, facing outwards, like with their faces towards the wall. There's like a foot or two from the wall. They've got some space, but they're basically facing the wall. And this is traditional. This has been going back a long time. And the whole point is that, and this goes really deep, by the way. This is really cool stuff. When you have no distractions and the final frontier is facing nothingness. Now what? Now what do you actually think about? And let's say you take away your phone, you take away your laptop, you take away your cool websites you like to go to, you take away your radio, take away the TV, all that. You could lay down and fall asleep and take a nap, but no, they're going to take it one step further. You're going to face a wall, and what you'll notice that happens is your mind starts to wander, but since there's nothing to think about because you're facing a blank wall, you start thinking about yourself and where you are in life and what you're doing and the successes and failures that you've had. And eventually, what's really crazy is you start thinking about your goals and who you are, who you've become. And that's why I like to say the wall in Zen, a wall is a mirror, because you really start to see yourself. You're like, oh my gosh, I've been in this job 10 years. what am I going to do about this? Like I need to get a promotion or something like that. And then, I've had this foot injury for 3 years. And it's these things that you don't think about because you're distracted all the time by all the distractions in the world. But you've removed all these distractions, and now the only thing that's left is you. And so now you're finally thinking about you. And it's a really great way to clarify where you are and where you're going and what's holding you back and what you're going to do about it. And on top of all that, it kind of gives you a reckoning. You're finally facing yourself with no distractions, and you really see who you really are, warts and all. Like, man, I'm overweight. You can't go, well, let's change the channel and see what's on see if the Simpsons are on. It's like, no, your brain is sitting there going, dude, you are overweight. You need to lose weight. Or, God, you need to call your parents or something, whatever it is. Or, like real truths start to come up. Truths about your life and truths about yourself. Now, there's a famous saying that the greatest virtue, well, the patience is the greatest virtue, but another great virtue is knowing yourself. If you know yourself really well, then you're able to do so much more in life because you know your edges. I talked about this on a previous podcast. A good thing about Ironman is it's so long that you can't do it well. At some point you break, but then when you fail or you break, you know your limitations. You've realized them. You can't, and that's another good analogy for the wall is you can't fake it anymore. Did you train enough? No, because you had to start walking on mile 15 of the run, and you faked yourself. You tricked yourself. You thought that you were going to be able to run the whole thing. Well, no, you couldn't. You're not that good, and so it's a mirror. It shows you where you really are in life and how you really stack up. So, Ironman and sitting and facing a wall and all this other stuff is really good for showing you your edges and what you're actually capable of. And when you know what your limitations are, that's one thing, but also your potential, right? You know how far you can go before you break. So you end up, the more you learn about yourself over your life, the more you learn, that you actually might like scary movies, and that's okay, and you don't like other kind of documentaries. I'm just making stuff up. And so you're not going to waste time, watching documentaries, or you've done some introspective and you've thought about it a lot, and you've decided, you're never going to date another smoker, that it's just too much work. That you really do want to get a convertible, or that would really make you happy, or a convertible will never make you happy, one or the other. You've come to terms with these things. And so all day long in your life, you're making decisions. You probably make 1,000 decisions every day. And I'm not kidding. We were just at the grocery store, is it white bread or wheat bread or rye bread? Is it Diet Coke or water? Do we get a treat for the dog or not? Because we're getting cat food. So do we get a toy for the dog or not? Do we get the regular tennis balls, or we get the tennis balls with the Texas A&M College logo on them? Does the Texas A&M College logo bother you that they're putting a major university logo on dog toys? It just goes on and on and on, like your choices and what you do all day, and your values start to show up. And once you're clear on your values and your the choices that you want to make, then you make much better choices all day long. Because you sat and stared at a wall for an hour, you've thought about it and said, I don't want to go run down this one scary trail anymore. Say I got a female coworker that runs in a scary place, and she needs to take the time to invest and find a better place to run that's got more street lights and stuff and safer. So with the free space of actually thinking about things and learning to know yourself and you've got the time now to think when you're staring at a wall. You've got the time now to think about what's really important and what's some better decisions in life I could be making. And so you get up from staring at the wall and you're like, I'm going to go on Google Maps and find a better run route. And that could change your life, in so many ways. And knowing yourself also leads to a lot of confidence. There's a saying, I think it might be in fashion, but it might be in personal productivity, but I think it might be in fashion actually. But elegance is refusal. And when you really know yourself, then you have the self-confidence to say no, right? You're not going to date that person. You're not going to take that job. Oh gosh, somebody I know was applying for a job, and we told him, you're better than that job. Say no, But you have to have self-confidence, right? Well, you have to know yourself. You have to know your own skill set. So what I'd like for people to do is, when you get a chance, get a chair, unless you're already used to sitting, cross-legged on a pillow. And these pillows that they make for this are actually really thick, so it's almost like a very low chair anyway. So you can just get a chair if you're not into that stuff. And find a blank wall, a section of wall where there's no pictures. Like I'm looking at a wall right now, and there's no wall. There's one little section of wall that would be good enough in here, but with no distractions on it. It's just a blank wall. Sit there, and I've done this in a Zen center in Austin, Rinzai Zen style of practice. And I think I stared at a wall for half an hour that one time at that one place. But you stare at the wall and watch what happens with your mind. Watch the crazy thoughts kind of come and go. And at first, you'll notice there's a thought a second. Da-da-da-da-da-da, and they go off on an endless trail, a rabbit hole. You might hear a car or something like that, and you're like, a car, oh, I need to put gas in my car. Oh, my car doesn't get very good gas mileage. That other car I used to have had better gas mileage. Ricky has a car with the best gas mileage. But, oh yeah, that one time the Volkswagen got in trouble for lying about their pollution in their engines from their gas and the diesels. And diesels, I wonder how does a diesel, do they ever turn the engine off in a diesel truck? They're always running at those gas stations, and the silver canister on the side of a diesel truck, in the cab, that's actually turbos. I've seen 2. I wonder if they make 3 or 4. And then in Australia, they have those 18-wheeler big rig trucks that are like connected, they have like 2, 3, 4 trailers long on them. And gosh, I wonder in Australia when they're driving along, do they ever see kangaroos? I mean, are kangaroos wild? And do they farm them? Isn't there a thing like kangaroo meat? And I swear I saw on Reddit one time video of a kangaroo trying to choke a dog and like drown it underwater. And there's that one video or picture of a kangaroo that looks like a weightlifter. It's so strong. And so your mind like does all this stuff. We started off at cars, and now we're in kangaroos drowning dogs, right? And so your mind will do that for a while, but eventually it'll stop. And the trick is you don't try too hard to make it stop, because now you're trying too hard. And just like running and biking and swimming, if you try too hard, then you get exhausted and you fail. So you kind of let itself play out. And then when you notice that it kind of picks up again and goes off into outer space. You know, you end up thinking about, speaking of outer space, Neptune, and are the moons of Jupiter actually, could you colonize them? You know, you find yourself thinking about that. You don't get angry at yourself. You just go, no, bring it back, and try to just stare at the wall and think about nothing, which actually is a really good concentration skill. It'll allow you to stay, when you get good at it, it allows you to stay with problems a little bit longer and remember things a little bit better because you're working your brain pretty good to stay with something and focus on something. Just like if I'll find myself doing math calculations, and instead of, if it's a simple one, instead of reaching for a calculator, I'll try to do it in my head because it's good for your brain. And instead of taking the same route home all the time, I'll try to take a different route because it's, you have to think a little bit more. You have to concentrate, and oh, this is new, you know. Oh, yeah, there could be a cop around that corner, better slow down, you know, and all that stuff. So staring at a wall takes some concentration. It's actually good for your brain. And anyway, give it a try and see if in the end, when you run out of things, you have to face yourself. There's nothing else left to think about except for you and your place in life. And when you hit an insurmountable object, an immovable object, they say it's like a mosquito biting an iron bowl. You can't do anything about it. And when you realize that you can't do anything about it and you can't win, let's say like another metaphor for the wall is hitting the wall like running in an Ironman. You have to change who you are to meet your goals. And then that is self-improvement, where, you know, you can change your environment and you can change your tools, you can change your methods, but at some point, you actually have to change. When none of those things work and you run out, you have to change yourself. And that's a really hard thing to do because your ego mind views it as if you're dying, you know, your former self that you're real familiar with, how you work. It's not working. One famous saying is, and so how's that working out for you? Isn't that Dr. Phil or something like that? How's that working out for you? And so the person, including you, will sit there and go, well, crap, I'm going to have to do things differently. I'm going to have to be a different person. You know, I remember halfway through college, I had bad grades and all these party friends and stuff. And I decided I found a career path that I really wanted to do. And to get better grades, I realized after a while of struggling that I was going to have to become a different person. I was going to have to lose my party friends and become a full-time studying student, and I was going to have to change my behavior. I couldn't change anything else. Now it's up to me, you know? You can't, let's say all you do is run 5Ks, but you want to do an Ironman. You can't run more 5Ks. That's not going to do it. You are going to have to change yourself into somebody else. You're going to have to become an Ironman training triathlete, which means a whole lot of change on your part. And you're going to have to let go of the way that you were to take this on. I've been watching the Norseman TV show on Netflix, which I absolutely love. I think it's great. Especially I have a Viking heritage in my family, Scandinavian. And so I just love watching this stuff. It's really funny. But there was a saying, to attack with the sword, and they may have said, you know, to attack with both hands on the sword, you're gonna have to drop your shield. You can't be holding your shield in defensive mode the way you were to make any progress, to cut through anything. You're gonna have to drop your shield, which it makes you vulnerable. It's change. It's scary. But then you can grab the handle of the sword with both hands and cut into something new. Or if you're like in the Star Wars, you know, to grab the rope and swing across with Princess Leia. Anyway, that's that. Hope you enjoyed that little Zen lesson there. Go stare at a wall for a while. Oh, man. And by the way, there's a really cool audio book. Jocko Beck, Jocko. Let me see if I can find the name of it while I have it with me. I've listened to it a long time ago. She's a Zen master. She's dead now, but she lived to be really old, and she gives great talks, and it's very, very plain, good Zen. I should recommend it. I was just listening to part of it earlier today. I've listened to it before. Living Everyday Zen. And it's what's really cool. It's an audiobook, but it's a recording of her giving lectures on Zen and how to practice Zen. And she seems to me to be the most down-to-earth, real Zen master that makes sense, that we have recordings of. There's a few of them. I wouldn't say there's lots of them. There's a few of them. But, a lot of Zen masters are Chinese Zen masters from 800 years ago, 1,000 years ago or more. And you can read their writings, but to listen to somebody talk that's actually a recognized, trained, formal Zen master teacher is really, really cool opportunity. And Jocko Beck, she is up there with Living Everyday Zen. I think it's like a 3 or 4 hour audiobook. All right, so that is your Zen stuff. We need to move along and talk with Jocelyn about Kona. I'm really excited about it. I'm really busy tomorrow in the morning up until Kona starts, and I'm going to be kind of a mess because Kai has a kids triathlon in the morning. Elegance is, what did I call it? Elegance is denial. What was the word? Elegance is, I'll think of it in a second. But I said no to doing the adult triathlon because I'm so close to my foot being healed up. I'm there. I'm so there. And doing a race would actually mess up my foot. So I said no to that race so that I can progress. And it was hard to do. And so Kai has that in the morning. And then he has a soccer game at 1:30. And I think, and we're Texas Central Time, I think Kona starts about 1 o'clock. So I'm going to be trying to watch the race and watching Kai's soccer game, which makes me not a good parent. And I'm going to try to figure out a way to watch it'll be the swim, it takes almost an hour. There's not much going on there. And then the early part of the bike. And then we come home, and I am going to be wanting to watch the bike and ride Zwift at the same time so I can rack up the miles for that Specialized tri bike. So it's going to be a busy, busy day tomorrow. And yeah, that's where we are with all that. So I got my own kind of Kona mess going on over here. And let's go ahead and hop on over to our interview with Jocelyn, who I'm a huge fan of. There's Jocelyn, Angela Nath, Miranda Carfrey is going to be in it again. So that's the whole female side. I'm a big fan of Lionel Sanders. I'm a big fan of Patrick Lange's running form and all the bananas and stuff he shoves into his kit while he's running. And I'm a big fan of Sebastian Kingsley's attitude. And who's another surprise guy out there? I think Ben Hoffman's out. He's not racing. Jan Frodeno's out. He's not racing. I'm trying to think of... the guy that won... God, what's his name? He won 4 or 5 years ago. He's back in it again. And yeah, we're going to see a whole bunch of cool bikes and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all that stuff. All right, let's go ahead and get started with Jocelyn talking to us about racing Kona this year. Here we go.
Welcome to the next level.
Did I lose you already?
Nope, I'm still here. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so our last conversation, you're Jocelyn McCauley in my Skype, I don't know, what do you call it, Rolodex.
Yeah,
but with a capital J and capital M. So I went and searched for a Jocelyn McCauley again, and there's now, well, I don't know, it could be, I don't know how old it is, but it's like, yeah, there's this Jocelyn McCauley. She's been trying to get in touch with me.
Weird. I wonder if it's connected to a different email
Exact
address.
same spelling, as far as I could tell. I didn't look at it too closely. I just was happy to find it.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. It works now, so.
We're here.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. I've got a whole bunch of questions for you.
Yeah, I did get them, so.
Yeah, send them to the other Jocelyn McCauley now.
Well, maybe that one's my account too. Who knows?
You're global. You have multiple Skypes. But you want me to send them to you so you can read them as I send them to you? I've updated them with more questions.
Yeah, we can just, whatever you want to do.
Okay, I'll just read them from here. We're good. So one of my favorite stories is how I met Jocelyn, which is pretty ridiculous, and how I thought you were a normal human. So a few years ago, you emailed me and said you were from College Station, and you'd heard the ZenTri podcast and wanted to know if I could go for a jog or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. And I was like, sure, because College Station's out of the way, as you well know.
Yeah. Yes.
And so when people swing through from like Dallas or Houston and they know I live here, it's always fun to meet somebody. And you showed up and we hung out for a few minutes and then we started jogging and I was a wreck because I'd just done that Ultraman thing.
Yeah.
And I was running probably an 11.5-minute mile. I do not know how you ran that slow, knowing you now. And then we're about a mile into the jog, I think. And then I was asking questions about you, so how'd you get in the triathlon or whatever. And then I pry out of you that you had actually won first amateur at Ironman Texas. And you were on your way to going pro at that time, I think, right?
I was pro. Yeah.
You were already pro?
Yep.
And I remember we got back to the house and Emily and Kai were there and I said, oh my God, did y'all know that she won Ironman Texas? And I was just pointing at you, going, look at this.
Yeah.
And so then and that's really, really cool because with triathlon, you never know who you're training with or who you're up against or who you're hanging out with. Some people have a really crazy background. And the other thing that's really cool about you is that you came from College Station.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because it gives hope to people that think they live in a smaller town and, they don't live in San Diego or I mean, not no Boulder small, but like Denver or something like that. And you grew up on a local swim team and running track and stuff and then started doing Ironmans.
Because why not?
Because why not? Because your sister, right?
Yep. She started this madness.
Yeah. So now I think we've done a couple interviews since then. And Jocelyn, I got to tell you, your interviews that I've seen over the past few years, as you've, I think, did you get interviewed by Bob Babbitt?
No, not yet.
No?
I am doing Breakfast with Bob.
Breakfast with Bob.
Yeah.
But there's been many interviews with big interviewers or whatever.
Yeah.
You are so funny and so sharp. And it's like, it's great. So I encourage people to listen to your interviews because you say stuff. You say stuff that's like, did she just say that? And you just smile whenever you say it. And it's like, holy cow. Can't believe she just said that. But it's funny. You can tell that you're smiling, like you can tell that you're being a little tongue in cheek, but also serious because you can back it up.
Yes.
Okay, so last year, I've been talking forever here now, and then it's going to be your turn. You got 10th at Kona. So one of my questions is, do you get automatic re-entry? And then looking back now, how do you think that race went? And what do you think you're going to change this year?
Yeah, so you don't get automatic re-entry. So this is the last year of the points qualification system.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, unfortunately, whatever, it is what it is. So, but with the top 10 finish under the points qualification system, you basically have enough points to be able to do Kona, like to qualify for Kona the following year. And so I really and I had won a 70.3 Vichy France that year under that qualification point system. So with that win, and then with the top 10 in Kona, and then I just basically had to finish an Ironman, and I was set to go. So there was no pressure or stress to, how am I going to get to Kona or anything like that, which.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
I think 10th also is the last place to get money, right?
It is.
Okay. So I remember you were in like 9th or 10th or 11th. I don't remember. I was watching the results live.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's like, get in the 10th.
Yeah.
The world's completely different if you make 10th. Do not give up. You want to get 10th if you're on the line.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for the second part of your question, like how did I feel about it and what did I think? Obviously, you should be happy with 10th in the world, right? You're 10th in the world. It's amazing. Yeah. But I just actually posted an Instagram thing the other day talking about this because I had one of those Facebook memories come up of my very first win, which was 2 years ago in Mallorca on September 24th. And I was so ecstatic there. I was so happy. And, I have this huge smile and I screamed across the finish line and everything. And then, obviously I'm building up to Kona this year and thinking about Kona last year and stuff like that. And so I was comparing this experience that I had to being 10th in the world. And when I crossed the line, 10th in the world, I had my husband and my sister were there to greet me, and I just went right into my husband's arms and I actually jumped up on him and gave him a hug and just buried my head in his shoulder and started bawling because I was so sad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember in some of the interviews leading up to Kona, you were really confident that you might do better than 10th.
I was for sure going to do better.
Yeah, and I was in with you on that. I think that there's several or quite a few of you pros that could win. And everybody says that. A lot of you could win any day. You just got to make sure that you do it exactly right. Oh,
it's so true. It's so true. And so, that whole experience taught me, no matter what, appreciate the finish line and be happy that you got to cross another Ironman finish line because it's such an achievement. It's so, not everyone gets to do this, right? It's amazing. So I learned that from this year. And so, my commitment was, I am not going to just cry at the finish line this year. No matter where I finish, no matter when I finish, I will have a smile coming across that finish line, whether it be forced or not. We'll see. But, yeah, so, I think there's a lot to do different, after my very first Ironman there, to be able to change and do different this year, which it's always fun to learn and grow. That's, I think, what draws a lot of people into the sport is that you always
get the self-improvement. Yeah.
Oh, it's so much, and it's just continuous all the time. So much self-improvement. And so, my coach actually was just out here for a couple of days while I was training. I'm in the Woodlands right now. So, and we sat down and just rehashed last year and what we're going to do different this year, and, all this stuff. And I think I'm already coming into the race in a lot better kind of frame of mind. I'm a lot more chill. I'm not as amped up and I'm going to go win this stinking thing, which, who knows what's going to happen. Yeah. And I would love to win the stinking thing, but.
Yeah. That's really good for that attitude that I'm just going to win this thing is really good for a 50-yard freestyle.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But that seems to be the undoing of everybody when it gets up to Ironman. It's just, you end up going too hard too early or just taking too many risks or something, I guess. Or what do you think?
Yeah, Kona's just a different beast, and I think that people race it so differently in the pro levels at least, and I think some in the age groups as well. but they just race it so differently because they just go, it's all or nothing. And like you see that people are either, finishing really well or they're DNFing. I mean, to see some of the people who DNF'd last year, I mean, there were people who were in the top 5, previous year that DNF'd and, and the top 10 and stuff that just DNF'd. And because, I mean, going into Kona, you look at the start list, you're like, there are like 20 women that can be in the top 10, or more, so it's just, it's just whatever happens on the day. And it's the leading up to that race. That's that week of the race and what you're doing and how you're preparing and how you're managing everything Madame Pele gives you. So,
yeah. So I have a theory.
Yeah.
There's a known theory. I don't want to screw up whatever you do, though.
Uh-oh. Now I'm going to have to change everything.
Oh, yeah, right. I like you're going to listen. But, so there's a known, it's like a fact. It's just not universal. But guys have testosterone poisoning and they race crazy. Pretty much every race. Okay.
That's
so
true.
they do very risky behavior and they'll take off the front. Right. And explode pretty much any race. You have guys that, they treat every race almost like it's Kona. They act nuts every race trying to win. It's very risky.
They treat it like a 50-yard freestyle.
Yeah, they're just like, I'm going all in, buddy. Hold my beer. Watch this.
Yeah.
And so then, but basically on the bike, they start powering off the front on the bike, trying to do like little breakaways. They're trying to ride too hard. And then when it comes down to the run, they can't run as well because they've done
they all fold.
Now, analysts say, and this is in lots of kind of long distance racing, women aren't like that. They don't have the testosterone problem. There could be a book called The Testosterone Problem. And they don't react to somebody passing them or like taking off the front, right? They're like, well, that's interesting. Good for you. I'm going to be much more planning. And I know not all women are like that. And especially at Kona, that kind of goes out the window some, but I have this, and so women are like much more consistent and like, they tend to not explode as much, because they haven't overdone it too soon. And then, but I have my second theory is that if you look at the finishing times, the times are just the same as any other race, really. They're not like too much different, if at all.
Yeah, they're a little slower, but yeah.
They could be, even slower because it's a hotter, more humid race, right?
Yeah.
So the thing to do, if I could restrain myself, if I was a male, if I was like Lionel Sanders or I'm trying to think who's
Sebastian Kienle, Matt
Sebastian
Hansen.
Kienle is if I was in their position, the thing to do is to actually just restrain yourself and just go as even as you possibly can. And I know there's dynamics in the pro racing where you try to keep with the pack and all that stuff, but try to minimize all the surging because when you surge or try to take off the front, you end up not burning an equivalent amount of matches or equivalent amount of calories. The fatigue and calorie burn that you go through, like doing that, is, 1.5 times as much or something like that. So then when it comes down to the run, you've kind of blown up. What do you think about that? Is that theory any good?
Yeah, I mean, well, you look at, not last year, obviously Patrick Lange won last year, but the year before, and he got third.
Yes.
He's
a perfect example.
Yeah, he got a penalty on the bike, and he biked all by himself, like, that whole time, and then he was able to, break the run course record that year, and last year, but, that year, and run himself up into third place. So, yeah.
Penalty on the bike?
Last year he did it. No, oh gosh, knock on wood now, please. That's like my brand is like integrity is my brand. So how would that
like shove somebody down and be like, well, I guess I have to wait here for 5 minutes now.
Yeah. I'm like, oh shoot. Oh man. No. Well, have you been following Andrew Starkowitz. He's been putting some pretty funny
Oh my gosh, yes.
tweets
And
out
he's
there.
like that for real. I interviewed him one time.
Oh, he is. That is him. That is him for real.
He just talks so much trash. It's like, it's hilarious. What did he do? He said he'd give me three great runners, and I'll bet I'll pass 2 of them or something like that on the run.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I bet you a handwritten apology letter or something that I'll beat at least 2 of them or something like that on the run. So
that makes a lot of people mad.
well, and then he said he would donate $100 to this because his little baby had a seizure last year, like after he was born. Yeah, and so he said he would donate like $100 to some seizure foundation, research foundation for every penalty that is given out on the bike, which we all know is not very many.
Yeah.
Not as many as should be. So.
Oh, I get it. Okay, yeah. He's pointing out that people don't get penalties like they should.
Oh yeah, no, it's quite.
Especially coming from an Uber biker, he's probably annoyed with people drafting off of him and stuff.
Oh, I would be so annoyed having people getting free rides. I mean,
his bike numbers are absolutely insane. Like, I'll have like the workout of my life for like half an hour, and I'll still be a mile per hour slower than what he does over 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it's unbelievable how good he is on the bike.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, so let's see your strategy. You've been working with your coach, and you've been at Magnolia Masters. We're going to cover that in a second. Let me go back to my super duper notes. How are you getting? Well, you're obviously going to fly to Kona. You're probably not going to swim there, but where are you going to stay? Are you staying with family? How do you get a place to stay there? What's your plan?
Well, I have been there twice, once as an age grouper, once as a pro. The first time we did an Airbnb, and then last year I stayed with a friend of a friend for a week, and then I was on the Big Sexy Racing team as a pro, and they had a house that they put me up at for a week, and so that's how I was covered last year. This year I am staying with another friend of a friend and they've become friends now, but they live in Boise and they have a house in Kona as well. We live in Boise now, so and they have a house in Kona that they go and train, and they do Ironmans as well, and they're
probably excited to let you stay there, right? Because they get to walk around and say, "We've got a top pro staying at our house."
Yeah, so I get to stay with them this time. So I'm excited to.
Are they going too? You're going to be there with them?
Yeah, they're already out there.
Okay. Are you bringing family?
So in typical tradition, my family comes out the Friday before the race, just to leave things on the line. So, they are coming out Friday. I think we actually moved it. Now they're coming out like Friday afternoon. So it's like 3 p.m. They usually come like Friday night. It's like usually they come in at 7 p.m. I say hi, and then I say I'm going to bed and go to sleep. So.
Yeah, I think it'd be better if they got there a little bit earlier. I mean, you don't want them to be there family can get in your way sometimes actually because they don't know boundaries. But it depends on the family. If my brother showed up, it would be like, "What's up, dude? Let's go hang out," or something like that. Like, no, I need to go do my thing. But also, you don't want them getting there too late because now you're kind of having to stay up late, right? To say hi. So earlier is better.
Yeah, it is better, but I'll take them whenever I can get them. So it'll be fine. I mean, I have so many commitments and stuff to do.
Yeah.
That week of the race that I wouldn't really be able to see them that much anyway. So it's better to just be chill, low key on my own sometimes. So I'll see them a little before the race, and then I'll see them on the race course. So
right. So also. I was thinking about like your parents. Is that what you said? And
they're not coming this year, but they're
talking about your husband and your daughter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that's totally different.
Yeah,
I thought
and
you
then
were talking about like relatives, like coming in and visiting you or something like that.
no,
Yeah.
I have my two sisters are coming, and my brother-in-law is coming as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
no, my parents aren't coming. They came last year, but they're not coming this year. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So seeing your husband and your daughter would be awesome. Then
Oh
that,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, I get it now. And then let's see. How soon do you get there before the race? How many days, weeks, or whatever are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'll be there 2 weeks. So I've been down in the Woodlands for 2.5. It'll be like 2.5 weeks.
That's
And
great because it's been terrible here. So you're getting all the heat.
yeah, well, it hasn't been super hot. It's just been so humid here.
Oh, I know. It's insane.
So humid. Today was beautiful. It was like cold. I was wearing a
Yeah.
jacket outside today.
I know. Isn't that cool? It was
I
great.
know. It was like
It'll last a
71,
day.
right? It was like 71 or 72 or whatever. I'm like wearing a jacket, but
Well, that's a
yeah.
good sign. That means you're heat adapted like really well. If you're,
Yeah.
that felt cool. Because a lot of people that would still feel hot. So if that felt cool, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm down here, and then I leave on Saturday to go to Boise because I need to see family. So I get to see them for 2 days, and then I fly down to Kona on Monday, and then and it's like basically race day by then.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Okay, and then this just a curious question. Do you already know your bib number so we can tell people what number to follow, or has that been defined yet?
I don't know if it has been. I don't know what it is if it has been.
Or something, or 110 or whatever they do.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Okay, let's see.
No, actually, I think they don't do it off of the following year. They do it off of KPR points, which is the Kona rating points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do that.
Okay.
I'm not positive. Maybe.
All right. Let's get to, you are an awesome pro that came from being an age grouper. So I've got questions for you to share with your answers with the folks out there, about how to train and be faster. Because when we get somebody like you on the air, we have to ask these questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So swimming, we'll do swim, bike, run. Swimming, about how many yards or hours or workouts do you per week? And what have you been working on? Right. About, what have you been working on with, the Magnolia? For people that don't know, Magnolia Masters is based out of Northwest Houston, like the Woodlands area. And I grew up in, you grew up in College Station. I grew up in Houston on the swim teams there.
Yeah.
The Houston area is phenomenal for swimming. Like, it is. It is swim leagues. It's unbelievable. So, you're in the right place for swimming. Have you learned anything over the past couple weeks training with them that you're fixing or improving or something, or just training?
Yeah, just training. I mean, there's always things to improve with the swim, right? With everything, right? There's always little things that you can improve to get better gains and stuff like that. And I mean, one of the things that we're focusing on is just my right arm catch. I'm not catching the water. I'm slipping through the water. So just trying to keep that high elbow catch.
Yeah.
And still have an elongated entry in the water and stuff like that. So
yeah. That's hard to do. That's a particular joint movement that's hard to master. So let's see. Are you, during the swim at Kona, are you going to try to draft off of somebody, or do you try to, in any Ironman, do you try to draft off of somebody, or do you try to just kind of get some clear space and swim your own swim?
Yeah, so I used to kind of key off with people, I think I can swim with so-and-so, and so I'll make sure that I'm next to her to start, and so I know where she is, to try to get on her feet and stuff like that. And it was actually about a year ago, we threw that out the window and we're like, you know what? No, we're going to go the first 400 strokes just really hard. Just, go 400 strokes and count them and go hard. And then just see what packs are created, see what opportunities you can make for yourself, and just go with that. And so, and that has actually been worlds better than trying to find this person, it's stressful, the numbers aren't on the cap, so now I have to know what she looks like with a cap and goggles on.
I see.
And, things like that. It's just
that's extra stress of trying to figure out before it even happened. You don't even know how that person's going to swim that day. So it's smart.
Yeah, you don't know.
Just swim hard and then get with the group of who's swimming best.
exactly. Whoever that speed happens to be. And I like to line up away from people.
Mhm.
Like if, for any listeners, out there, like if you have never done like, obviously this is an open water swim start. And if you've never done like mid pool swim starts with, like two people on either side of you kind of thing and, try to get that momentum and stuff. If you do one of those with two people on either side of you and time how fast you can get to the wall, and then do one without anyone next to you and time, you are going to be like a second faster because you don't have the drag that those two people create right next to you. Mm-hmm. And so trying to be away from people is, for me, much more important than, what's the best line and, things like that. So I try to get out of the crazy, and I mean, that's hard to do in an age group race. Yeah. That's a mass start, but, with only, 30, 40-ish women on the start line, it's a lot easier to do. Yeah. So.
I agree with you that, over the years, I've found that I just you pay a lot of money or, hotel travel, regardless, of the entry fee. And then on top of that, the entry fee to be in a race. And so you want to enjoy it, and like clean water seems to me to be faster than rough water that people have chopped up, from swimming. And it's trying to stay on somebody is like really stressful, and it's choppy. You don't even know if you're going as fast as you possibly could. And you get clean water, you have just like a nicer day. Like it's a nicer experience. And like you said, possibly faster.
I think, it's for sure faster. Like just from doing swim starts in the pool and stuff like that, which is also great practice and a lot of fun to do.
Okay, let's see. What's the best? Like one kind of workout, like a drill or a set or something like that. You think that would make people faster?
Something else that I just posted today on Instagram. I am not the person to ask about like awesome swim sets, because my perfect swim set is something you can just have in your brain. Like 25 hold pace 100s. Go, like just do them off of a, 130 and try to hold a, whatever is good for you kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, like 20 seconds faster than whatever your pace is. So yeah, like doing something like that. I love doing more sets like that than like something you have to write down where it's like do a drill swim and then do this kicking set and then do this other set. Like it's just, I like simplicity in my life. Like this more simple we can make things in my life, the better.
Yeah. I agree. Okay.
More zen, right?
Yeah. Well, I learned that, there's a definite method to get faster on the bike. And it's like sweet spot intervals and a mix of intervals, that burn your legs, and then recovery. And then also for weightlifting, I used to do a bunch of weightlifting and stuff. And the best way to get stronger is to do like 3 or 4 sets of anything, whatever the muscle group you're working, to make your muscles burn. And then wait a couple days, and then you're stronger and you're faster. And, even though I grew up on swim teams, like with all the stuff that you're talking about, all the different, like crazy, like complicated sets. If you're doing long distance freestyle, really all you need to do is be practicing freestyle. The other strokes are good for like beginners that are trying to learn like balance in the water and like feel for the water and stuff. But after a while, like do your swim workouts like you do your bike workouts. And they're so much more simple. Like, warm up and then go 20 minutes medium and like a couple minutes hard, and then like take a break for a minute, and you know what I mean? Like bigger sets with more, burn.
Yeah. I'll still do short intervals. I won't do anything more than a 300.
400 yards as fast as you can.
Right. Like I'll generally do 200 or unders, occasionally 300s, but making them just like 10 of them and go, so yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the bike, and we'll cover your times over your last race at the same time. Your swim at Kona last year was like 53 minutes or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's like really fast. So again, former swim teamer, so makes sense. And so you're right on track. And I looked up Daniela Reese time, right?
A minute and 30 seconds. Yep.
You were like a minute slower. Yeah,
Minute and 30. Yep.
Minute 30.
I got dropped at the boat on the turn, and I was with them until that turn, and they put in a surge, and I just didn't think about them putting in a surge, and they were gone before I even could respond. So.
And then let's move to the bike, and let's see. On the bike, you were like a few minutes slower on the bike overall. Was it like?
No,
8?
It was bad. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was.
11 minutes?
I don't know. It was a bad bike ride. It was sad.
It was not that bad because
it really was. Like, I put it in, obviously, like, after the race, like, coach wants files and stuff. I put in Training Peaks, and I didn't look at it. I put in a comment saying, please don't talk to me about this. I'm not looking at it yet. I'm not ready to. So we honestly, oh my gosh, no, seriously, we honestly did not talk about that bike split or the power file, and I hadn't even looked at it until just last week.
I honestly, I just looked at it earlier today. I don't have it in front of me, but I didn't think it was that. It was not very much slower than Daniela Reese, which was smoking.
Yeah.
And so let's see. You're on the Quintana Roo.
Yep.
And what color you got for the race?
It's a Neutron, which is pink.
Okay, that pink one. Did you get disc brakes or not?
No, I'm not running disc brakes. My wheel company was not didn't have a disc brake disc until until a couple months ago. So
okay, that's cool though because you don't really need them at Kona anyway. And then let's see, I got some training questions for you.
Okay, we'll see if I have answers.
How much do you ride? Do what?
We'll see if I have answers. I don't always know the answers to my training questions.
Oh, these are easy. How much do you ride indoors?
So yeah, that is easy.
Yeah, see?
I thought it was going to be like hours and amounts. Like, I don't know that. Like, I don't pay attention to that.
I'm actually not asking that. Yeah, I don't have that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you never answered that about swimming. Do you swim like 4 times a week or 3 times or 80 times or what do you do?
6 times a week. Every day that I train, I swim.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's insane.
Okay.
I actually,
That's too much for me.
This week is like the first week in I don't even know how long that I haven't swum every day. Well, okay, probably it's been, I mean, there was like a day or two while I was in Vichy that I had travel, so I couldn't swim, like things like that, obviously. But other than that, I swim every day. But yeah, I didn't swim yesterday. And the guy swam today, and I was like, I feel so weird. I didn't swim yesterday. This is so weird.
It's so weird. A lot of people don't know that, but a lot of swimming is the feel for the water, and you don't swim, you lose that feel. And if you don't have that feel, then you don't grab as much water on every pull. It's really weird. Because I remember that I swim 6 days a week, and then Sunday have the day off, and then go back in Monday, and then you feel really slow and like you're just falling through the water instead of swimming forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But biking inside and outside. Yeah. So, I used to live a year ago. We moved to Boise, right after Kona last year. We moved to Boise. And before that, we lived in Cincinnati. And when we were in Cincinnati, I couldn't bike from my house very safely. And so I did all of my riding inside except for Saturday when I would go outside for my long ride, or Friday, whenever I had my long ride, I would go outside. So it was over 50% of my riding was inside. But now that I live in Boise and we live in the country, and there's this wonderful law called Idaho stops, which is stop signs are yield signs and stoplights are stop signs, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So
cyclists do not have to stop at stop signs in Boise, for people that don't know.
They're just yield signs. Yeah, it's so awesome. I love it. And so, not most cyclists don't stop at stop signs, and they usually treat them as yield signs, but it's the law there, at least, like we're safe that we can do that. So
I think it's called an Idaho stop.
It is the Idaho stop.
Yeah, a cyclist just rolls through a stop sign if nobody's coming.
Yeah. So now that we live there, I actually do almost all of my riding outside. It's so beautiful, and it's awesome. I have a great indoor setup. I have a garage that I have a trainer and treadmill and actually a trampoline in as well for Emmy to play in. But yeah, so in the winter and stuff like that, I'm all set, or bad weather, which in Boise we don't really have bad weather. It doesn't rain at all, so we don't have to worry about that. Like it's just the fires this summer. We had some smoke, a couple of bad smoke days, but other than that, it's been beautiful. It's been awesome, and I will opt inside if I don't have sometimes if I don't have someone to ride with for safety issues.
Yeah.
But I have I call him my unicorn training partner out in Boise because he is just the perfect training partner. He's like, so what are we doing today, Jocelyn? What do you got? You know?
Oh my gosh, cool.
Yeah, and he's super fast. He's a really nice guy, and he's a firefighter, so he has a great schedule for training because he's on 2 days and then off the rest of the week. So yeah.
I know a bunch of firefighters. I work with a bunch of them. And yeah, they've got the best schedule ever.
Yeah, I mean, you have to stay up late, have calls in the middle of the night and stuff. So probably not too optimal, but it's great for training on the other days.
So let's see. If you're riding indoors, what software do you use? What do you watch? Do you watch videos? Do you watch movies? Do you do Zwift, or what are you into?
I do the last couple of trainer rides. I've done nothing. I'm into my mind.
Oh no.
I know it's probably people's worst nightmare, but that's what I do. I don't do Zwift or Trainer Road or anything. I mean, I have one of my QR bikes that fits my trainer, just permanently on my trainer, and just ride. So
I don't do that anymore, but I've been through that phase. And people out there, it's insane. Y'all have to know this. How many, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours with nothing?
Yeah.
It's crazy. You're absolutely nuts.
Yeah, it's like riding.
It's possible.
You
can totally do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just the same as being outside and you have nothing. It's just you're inside and the scenery's not really changing. So.
But there's so many people. I crack up when I see people that are like, I could never ride indoors. It's like, well, if you figured out something about it that you liked. So indoors, it's very consistent. So you can really play around with different things and see how your body reacts.
Yeah.
And really clean up your bike position, for example.
Yeah.
Because you can tell, if something's better or not, because there's no other variables. It's just you on the bike.
Yeah.
Do you listen to music?
Not lately, but yeah. I used to watch Netflix a lot and music and stuff like that. But yeah, just lately I've just been in my head. So.
Okay. You need to get that message out there to terrify the competition. You're like, this girl. Yeah.
I can be in my head all day long. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I can be in my head all day long.
That's crazy. Okay, let's see. What numbers do you watch when you're training on the bike, indoors or outdoors?
Sometimes it's heart rate and sometimes it's power. It just depends on the workout and on the day and stuff like that. I mean, tomorrow I have a long ride. I'm not going to look at power at all. I just keep my heart rate and my certain zones and stuff like that. So it just 100% depends on the day, on the workout and stuff. So.
Okay. That sounds pretty normal. And let's see, what kind of power meter do you have?
I have a rotor.
Oh.
Power. Yeah. So it's a dual-sided crank power meter.
Yeah, I have a PowerTap hub, but it's really old. It's wireless and it's great. But I'm looking to get a crank one eventually because I think that's smarter.
Yeah,
wheels.
It's great. You can analyze, all the different aspects of your pedal stroke and the percentage right and left. Just all of the crazy analytics of it all. So.
Yeah. Let's see. We have. What's your favorite? What do you think is a good workout to make people faster on the bike?
On the bike, yeah. Oh, all out efforts of whatever distance or time that you feel like. Yeah, just
do what?
All out efforts of whatever.
All out. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I've experienced that where I'll do that, and then the next day, I think the hormones and stuff your body releases from that.
Yeah.
The next day I'll be faster. Like
Yeah.
I feel amazing the next day.
Oh, I love hill repeats.
Yeah.
Oh man, we have a I don't know, it's like a 2,000-foot climb out our back door. So it, it's beautiful. It's awesome. But, I could do hill repeats of that thing forever. I'd love it.
Yeah. Here, as you know, in College Station, we have, no hills that last more than about a minute on the bike.
You have overpasses. That's what you have.
We have like 20-foot hills. And, so on the so I do, trainer
hills. Yeah.
Trainer hills. And oh my gosh, the difference it makes is amazing. You can do a 20-minute hill, you can do a 30-minute hill, you can do a 10-minute hill.
Yeah.
Anything you want. Okay, so let's see. On that Quintana Roo, do you have the one that has the blinky light on the back of the cargo box?
Oh my gosh, yes. I can't tell you how many rainstorms I've had to turn that thing on.
Yeah.
Like, it's been nice out in Texas, right? You're like, oh shoot, I don't have any lights. Well, I'll turn on this light that I have built in.
Yeah, I think that thing is so cool. That was so smart of them.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Yeah.
Just to have it built into the bike. We're starting to see some helmets now that have got some lights built in and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard most of them are really uncomfortable though. So.
Okay, let's see. On to the run. On the run, you were like last year. You were about 11 to 15 minutes slower, I think, than Daniela.
Yeah, it was a sad run.
It was sad. Okay, I don't mean to bring it up.
I was happy with my swim
and
the last 10K of my run. Those two we can talk about all day.
Okay, cool. So on the run, now the reason that I think that you're going to do great at Kona, because another fact is that Kona favors women that are really good runners.
It does, yes.
Yes. Because the heat doesn't affect women. It affects big guys.
The more surface area you have for the sun to hit and heat up, the worse you're going to do.
The body volume, you can't shed it. You can't shed the heat if you got a lot of mass inside that surface area. And so this is really great. So when you hit the run, the theory is you just power through that. Especially you ran for, what school did you run for?
Brigham Young University, BYU.
And what was your specialty?
I was a 5K, 10K runner.
Oh yeah, see. And then, do you remember your fastest times?
I don't.
You should just make them up.
Yeah. Well, I don't even
3 minutes?
Make up a 10K or 5K time that I don't know times now anymore, even in that. It's too short.
So you also, not just being a swimmer background, but also, a college, track runner. So you got that down a little bit. You know how to train for that. And let's see, do you know about how many miles or hours per week you run?
I don't. I've been running every day lately as well, so too many.
How do you run every day and not get banged up from that? What do you do to prevent that?
They're not all hard runs. Like, I have like a recovery jogs that are like literally 9-10 minute pace, Yeah. Nice and slow, just, shaking things out and kind of, those really help get through soreness, I feel like, because it gets the blood flowing a lot better than anything else, I think, and stuff. So, honestly, how do I not get banged up? I can't tell you how many hours I have spent in my rapid reboot recovery boots, like in the last 2 weeks, literally over an hour a day. So probably more than I'm in the pool, I'm in the boots. So
are those ones that put pressure on your legs to help
the compression. Yeah, the normal.
So it helps blood flow faster, right?
Yeah, it helps, like, it helps with recovery so much because it helps return the, venous pooling blood from your legs into your heart and just help with that circulation. And so the better circulation you can have, the better flushing that you can have out of your legs. And so it's just key. It's really awesome. But yeah.
We moved about a year and a half ago now into a house that has a swimming pool in the backyard. It's not a big pool,
Yeah.
It's a swimming pool. But you know how like it's like inferno here every day in the summer.
Oh yeah.
And I'll go run in the morning or in the evening and then run right into the pool. Like sometimes I'm wearing my running clothes. I just go right into the pool.
Oh yeah.
And it feels so good. And especially because I know about that compression stuff. Like it's putting some pressure on your legs, but it's taking your weight off your legs.
Yeah.
And I'll just sit there and relax on the edge of the pool and go, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Let's see. What numbers do you look at while, on the bike? Forgot about that. On the bike, what do you look at while you're racing on the bike, on your bike computer?
Heart rate. I look at heart rate, and then I also have time and distance on there, but I don't really pay attention to that, just heart rate. So
no power?
I mean,
you don't look at power?
Nope, I don't look at power at all. I pay attention to time with like how many bottles I'm going through, like to just make sure I'm drinking enough.
Mm-hmm.
And like, pound the rest of that bottle if I need to, kind of thing. But other than that, nope, it's just heart rate that I'm focusing on, looking at and going. So.
Have you been following Lionel Sanders and his insane YouTube videos and his Gatorade endurance?
No, I have not.
Oh my gosh, you have to go look on YouTube.
Follow Crazy, so yeah. Right? If you follow Crazy and you pay attention to Crazy, then you have to become crazy, and I just don't want any of that. So
yeah. Well, no, this is more like you'll learn real quick. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that.
Seriously. Okay.
You will not be like, oh, I should try. It's not one of those things where you should try that. But anyway, his fueling plan is pretty much just straight Gatorade endurance, and then he's timed it all out and the sweat rate and everything. So that science of that is right on when he talks about that, about his like you were saying about how many you want to know your time so that you know when your aid stations and your fueling is going to happen and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Yeah. And let's see, numbers do you look at on the run?
On the run, I just 100% look at heart rate as well. So.
Oh, you don't look at, I know some people that'll look at pace when they start the run. Make sure they're not running too fast.
No, heart rate will dictate that. So.
Okay. So if your heart rate's like way too high, you'll slow down no matter what, no matter how you feel?
No matter how I feel. Yep. Because then you're not taking the heat off fast enough. And so I'll slow down, make sure I get the heat off, and then keep going.
True. I forgot about that.
In Kona, that's key in Kona, because like that's what your heart rate is really dictating and saying to you. Like you're not getting the heat off fast enough, and so if you don't deal with it now, you're going to be dealing with it in about 10 miles or 5 miles from now, and you're going to not like that plan. So.
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah. What about in training? Do you just do heart rate?
Yeah. For running, I'll generally just do heart rate, but it's like the bike as well in training. Like there's some days that I'll do pace and some days that I'll do heart rate. Like if we're doing really, really hard intervals, like above threshold intervals, then it's all about pace. If it's below threshold, then it's going to be about heart rate.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. So then let's talk about that last 10K of the Kona race.
Yeah, last 10K,
so you really lit it up.
I really think I had the fastest 10K out of any woman on that last 10K. Like, no joke. Like, it was just.
Was it to get the race for 10th, or was there something else? Or
no, it was the race to 10th because something kicked in, and one of my sisters was in Energy Labs, so right before you exit the Energy Labs, and she said, if you just keep it going. The same pace, then you can catch Annabelle Lexford, and you can get in the top 10 because I was running 11th or something.
Yes, okay, that's true then. Yeah, I thought so. I thought you were in 11th and you had to pass somebody to get 10th.
Yeah, like I might have even gotten into 12th at some point. Maybe it was just 11th, but yeah. So finally that helped just boom, change it around. And I was like, okay, no, I'm not out of this. Cause I just like kind of like sullen, like, ugh. And something that my coach did say to me before the race last year, he's like, like, it's not what you go into the energy labs, but the place it's how you're coming out of the energy labs is what's going to dictate the place that you get in Kona. Because coming out of the energy labs, you can pass, like 4 or 5 people, even just coming out of the energy labs. And it's true. I mean, it was like 6th or 7th, through 10th, we were all like 2 minutes apart. It was something ridiculous, like so close, yet you didn't even realize how close we all were, at that point. And so anyway, I was like, okay, I can do this, and started going, and I ended up coming down Palani. I have a picture of it. I passed Marine Huff for 10th place, coming down Palani. So it's like the last mile of the race. And then coming down around and then coming back on Alihi, people are yelling, like, you can go get her the next person. But, those streets are lined with people. Like, you can't see around the people. They're that full. And so, I couldn't see the woman in front of me. And I was going for it, but, I didn't catch her. I saw her cross the finish line, but yeah, it was a fun race. So.
Yeah. There's, when you notice that how much faster you can go when you have to, like when there's a reason, then I think that really gives a lot of hope to somebody that in your situation where the race the year before didn't go exactly the way you wanted. And so now you've got something burning inside of you to like do better.
Yeah.
And like something to prove, or I don't know, just, I did an Ironman one time where I had a guy that I was racing like 10 minutes behind me the entire way. And I thought I was going to die the entire time. I was running so hard. But it was him behind me that made me race like that. My best ever.
It's amazing what, other people can do to push you, like what competition can do.
Yeah. And then the formula to win Kona statistically, winners usually, they place like 10th one year, and then the next year they place like in the top 3, like they place like 2nd or 3rd.
Okay, I like your planning here.
Yeah. And then they win. So like Pete Jacobs, Macca, all these people, they just had to figure it out, and they had to work their way up. And every time that you race, you get Kona figured out a little bit better. And so this is your 3rd race there, technically. I know one was an age group race, but it'll be your 3rd, and you're moving up. So this could be it.
Could be it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just keep moving up. That's the only goal is just keep moving up and executing.
Eventually you have to win if you just keep going up.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. I mean, it might take 10 years, but.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. And I think if you're patient, I think patience is what pays off at Kona more than anything. So
true. That race is a race of patience.
Yeah. Let's see. What do you do? What's your fuel of choice on the bike and run and pre-fuel and all that stuff?
Yeah, I use F2C Nutrition. I've been with them a couple of years now and absolutely just love it. I use their glycodurance. So it's just a very clean complex carbohydrate that they have. It has, no fat, no sugar, no protein or anything. It's just this complex carbohydrate. And then I also add some of the electrodurance that, which is like their electrolyte profile, into that. So that's all I use on the bike. And then, for the run, I use a mixture of so you can mix that glycodurance into like a gel form and just make it into your own, flask gel.
Right.
So I'll, and Kona actually, so we have, pro aid stations.
Yeah, I've heard. You have
6 of them.
4 or 5? 6 of them? Okay.
Yeah. 6 because I did one for my husband, my 2 sisters, my daughter, and then my parents. So I had their name. I had each of their names on one of my bottles, like through the whole race. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
See, I know about these because Lionel Sanders says, that's where he's going to pick up his bottles. He's running with a fanny pack.
How many bottles is he going to run in his fanny pack?
He's running with full-size bottles, like he's switching them out at different aid stations.
Oh my gosh.
Of the aid stations.
See, this is why I just don't pay attention. I know what I'm doing.
Wins, Jocelyn? What if he wins? Then everybody's going to be doing. There's going to be people running with fanny packs all over the world.
Oh my gosh! Please no! Please no! Although fanny packs
in my closet, I can just dig it out. It'll be great.
Fanny packs are but fanny packs are totally coming in vogue.
I know.
Have you noticed that? Like they're
becoming
a normal thing.
Over the top.
Yeah.
JCPenney's is going to have pictures of Lionel Sanders everywhere.
Yeah. Apparently. Oh gosh. Oh yeah. No, I do not pay attention to. This is the point also that I stay off of Strava. I don't look at any of that. I don't look at people's social media. Like, you don't need to know what everyone else is doing. You need to be confident about what you're doing. That's all that matters. So.
The weeks leading up to Kona Ironman Texas is where, I haven't done that race in a little while. I was taking a break from it because I did it like 5 times in a row. Is when I start replying to questions and comments about alligators in the lake. And they're like, there's not any alligators in the lake, are there? I'm like, yeah, there's some pretty big ones. And I'll post pictures of alligators and stuff to freak out my competition. So that's probably a pretty terrible thing to do, but it works.
Yeah, just put a shark in that bay and people will freak out. So.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine a shark sighting in that bay?
Oh, that would terrify me. So
yeah, let's see. I think. Oh yeah, what's your? You got your fueling down, and what about? Oh, what's the name of that company again? F2C.
Yeah, First to Cross or F2C. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And
green apple. That's the best flavor. So.
Green apple.
Oh yeah, it's so good. It tastes like a Jolly Rancher. It's so
that's
amazing.
Good.
Yeah.
And then, what is your last question? What is your daily diet like? Are you Spacetarian? Let's see, vegan, only eat rice, fruitarian.
You know what? I just decided, 2 months ago to go vegan. I thought it was a great idea. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Nothing wrong with being vegan at all, but just don't do it like 2 months before a race, right?
Well, yeah. So this is all about Lionel Sanders. Before Ironman Mont Tremblant, he decided to do low carb.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jan. Yeah, and now he's got a hip injury and.
Yep, Jan went vegan.
He's under calorie to me. I talked about that on the last episode. He looked a little frail from being.
Yeah.
The thing about being vegan is you feel really good for a while because you do eat a lot more veggies. Yeah. Like you discover veggies and they're so good for you. But then after a while, if you don't eat enough of the other stuff that you're missing, then you lose weight, but then you start getting frail and then you can get banged up.
Yeah.
Is my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can be vegan and be fine. I mean, they're look at Rich Roll, right? He's like the vegan endurance guy. So, and stuff like that. So no, I mean, I've toyed with the idea, but I just never have done it. But no, so my coach, Jesse Kropelnicki of QT2 Systems, he owns.
Oh, he's good. Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, so he also owns Clean Diet. Now I'm going to forget the name of it. The Core Diet. The Core Diet.
I've talked with him, and I've talked to some of his coaches about the nutrition. I think he's right on.
Oh yeah, it's on point. So, I mean, you talked about discovering veggies and stuff. Well, I mean, we don't, in the Core Diet, you really don't have carbs except for veggies and fruit. You don't do rice and, breads and things like that, except for very key sessions and very key points in training. And so you're fueling those with those. But other than that, you get your carbs and stuff from training carbs, obviously. Like I'm drinking a lot of carbs while I'm training stuff.
And then your training kicks ass because you're getting carbs during training.
Yeah, well, not only that, but like, I mean, his whole philosophy is like, look, you have so many carbs that you have to consume during training. So we have to make sure all of the other calories and all the other, carbs, proteins, and fats that you consume during the day are actually nutrient dense. Because if they're not nutrients dense, you're not going to be able to get the nutrients into your daily diet that you need. And so let's do a whole bunch of, like if we cut out the breads, the pastas, that they're generally not nutrient dense, then you're replacing all of those with all of these really good, fruits and vegetables and stuff. So you're able to get the nutrients into your body that you actually need and stuff. So yeah, like I eat everything, but I'm very heavy on fruits and veggies and stuff like that. So
awesome. Cool. What do you do leading up to the race? When do you start changing your diet up? Like 2 days before? Because there's like this thing 2 days before, like starting about 2 days before, hardly any fiber and stuff like that. And then,
exactly. You see, you know the core diet by heart there.
Oh yeah, I do. What do you? It's following it that's the hard part. Well, not really, but I'm just saying. Things keep happening, everybody's like, let's go eat this and let's go eat that right before the race. And, what about your pre-race meal? What do you do in the morning? Or the night before and then in the morning?
So it's generally the week of the race that my diet shifts a little bit. Like, Monday before the race, we have a, satisfying higher fat meal for, dinner. And then Tuesday, Wednesday are generally about the same. Thursday, it's like 50% more carbs than I generally do in my diet. And then Friday, it's like heavy on the carbs and stuff. So, and then, obviously, like you said, like cutting out the fibers and stuff like that. So the fruits and vegetables and stuff like on Thursday and Friday before the race. Oh gosh, what was the part of your question?
Race day, race morning.
Oh, what do I do?
What do you eat? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's also part of the core diet stuff is doing like an applesauce with protein powder, like a banana and some sports drink. So, and then
Lionel Sanders does top ramen noodles. What about that?
Goodness. Is this the Lionel Sanders interview? Are you gonna?
I just want to compare somebody that's actually not random and all over the place and following a real nutrition coach, because Lionel Sanders. The big comment is like, dude, get a nutrition coach, this has all been figured out. Like, do what Kropelnicki says to do.
Yeah, but you know what? He is one of those guys who just needs to learn and test and try things and fail by himself. Yeah.
If somebody tells me how to do it, I don't care. I'm going to still screw it up my own way. That way I figured it out for the way I do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's like a teenager, right? That's what teenagers do. Like, mom, dad, no, I don't care what you say. I'm going to go do my own thing. And then they're like, oh, mom and dad were right. So.
Told you.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just in that teenage phase.
We get that with the Boy Scout troop. We'll be standing off to the side and we'll watch the boys, do something incredibly stupid. And as long as they're not going to hurt themselves, we just stand there. And it's a learning opportunity about to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they'll never do it again once they do it wrong, and it hurts.
Backfires. Yeah,
backfires. Yeah. Then that's how you really remember something, is when something doesn't go at all like you thought it was going to.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why Ironman, right? It's a very big learning opportunity. So we'll see. We'll see what takeaways that I get this year.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm really excited for you. I was so glad to find out that you were going. Another person I'm really excited that I found out was going at the last minute is Angela and Nate.
Yeah.
I hope y'all are able to race near each other as much as y'all possibly can until the very end, for my own sake, because I'll be really excited. I'll be like, I don't know who's gonna win.
Yeah. I think
she's super cool too. She's still
has a lot to overcome.
Yeah.
I mean, she says herself she has a lot to overcome with her Lyme disease and co-infection still. So I think it's more of a just an achievement for her to be there, honestly.
Yeah.
it's been a whirlwind of a last couple years for her with her foot and then Lyme disease. And
what happened to her foot? I forgot. Was it just a running injury?
She broke it like 5 times and then had surgery and then got an infection. Had to be on
that's right. Had an infection after surgery.
Like, oh my gosh, that was a nightmare for her. I felt so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that really sucked. Okay. So is there something special we need to remember to root for you, or how do we follow you, or what's something we can send your way that people know, or you know that people are rooting for you?
No, I always think about people, I'm sure, like I just commenting on my stuff and, just like knowing that they're out there following me. I mean, I do a lot on Instagram more than anything else. It's just the easier platform for me. And it's just Jocelyn McCauley on Instagram. And then it's Jocelyn McCauley Pro Triathlete on Facebook. And JOCE McCauley on Twitter. But the only time I ever tweet is during a race because I give it to someone else and they tweet it. So, and then just can retweet everything Ironman does and then just tweet out. So yeah, but I link that into my Facebook account. So if you don't follow Ironman Live and stuff like that, then I have my own live tweeting on my account.
Well, that's what we'll do. We'll send out messages of support, mostly through Instagram, and then follow you on Twitter.
Yes. There we go.
All right. Well, I think you're going to do really, really good. All the pieces are in place for you to do really great.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for doing the interview, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Howdy ho! All right, this is an episode. Let's wrap it up, B. I've had a wonderful run this morning. Going to try to wrap it up with a few little details here and there. Oh, let's see. We've had our first temperature drop. It's now October 9th, 10th, 11th. It's October 11th, and we had a cold front come through finally, and we've gone from epically bad, humid, terrible, unbelievably hot and humid conditions here in southeast Texas, Gulf Coast area, to a low of 57 degrees, crisp, clear air, and boy, the difference it makes running. So I went running this morning, and instead of needing, 1.5 liters, 2 liters of water, I'm serious. It's insane here how hot and how much water you need to digest fuel. I only needed, I think I ate about 110, 120 calories of Gatorade Endurance. I did 2 scoops in a gel flask and ran with that. I added a little bit of a touch of food coloring because Gatorade Endurance is clear. That way I could see in the gel flask how much was left. I'm running at night. And then with 2 waste bottles. So they're about 10 and I think they're 10.5 ounces each. So I take a sip on the gel flask and take a sip of water. That's how you keep your teeth from getting rotted out too, is always follow with water. And it's a gel flask from the Hammer Gel company, from some Hammer Gel I bought a while back, a decade ago or something. But anyway, and it was fine. It was enough water, where usually if it's warmer, I need twice that amount of water to be able to digest that amount of fuel, because all your fluids are going out to your extremities and sweating and all kinds of stuff. And because you're running cooler anyway, you actually run a little bit faster, probably 15 seconds per mile pace faster on average over an hour, over like 6.5 miles. So without running any harder, actually holding back a little bit more than usual, I ran 15 seconds per mile faster, which was really nice. And what I've noticed lately is running with 1 water bottle. These are hip flasks, the Amphipod hip flasks. They hold about 10.5 ounces each, like I said. 1 in front, 1 in back. Now they're balanced in the middle, gel flask in my pocket, running shorts, I've learned from trail running, have lots of pockets, and you can carry stuff. And really nice and well balanced. Running, I can swing my arms and hands, where they want to be and where they should be, instead of when I usually wear the hip flasks on the hips to the sides. I have to kind of move I have to move my arms and hands into a different position, and that's kind of what's been messing with my feet. And all that put together is, I've done this the past couple of runs, is a really nice run, well balanced, and good energy, nice, and just cruising along, having a really, really good time. So yeah, I'm really excited. There's that, and then I think I'm going to mention at the beginning of the show, I always record the beginning of the show last thing in case there's any news, but got a goal of trying to ride the 112 miles on Zwift over the week by Saturday night. I think if I ride tonight, I'll be halfway there. Kai, it's cool having a goal, Kai's got a triathlon on Saturday, and he has not been doing a lot of triathlon training. He's been running cross country, but he's only swam once in the past 3 months, and he's maybe biked once in the past 2 months. And so I said he needs to bike outside today. Today's Thursday, to get used to his bike again. We're not expecting much. When he did his cross country meet, he didn't do very well, but he's also been injured. Just playing around and running around with friends and doing cross country and just random stuff. He's managed to injure himself. There's this thing with kids that are growing, especially from 12 to 14 to 15, I think. Their growth plates are really, and their bones are really sensitive to injury. And twice, once in his heel and once in his knee, I think, he's gotten some nasty injuries where, it hurts, and you have to say no training, no nothing, no anything for a while, and that's it. And so he really hasn't been training. But we'll see for sure if he's actually going to go do the triathlon Saturday. It's here in town, and so it's a lot of fun. And he won last year, I think. But this year, no real expectations because he hasn't been training that much. His run will be way improved, but his bike is kind of lacking, and that's okay. And he, I said that he needs to get out on his bike and ride today to get used to riding outside. He's got the same problem as a lot of people that train indoors. If you've got good bike handling skills, if you grew up riding bikes, then if you ride indoors a bunch leading up to a race, all you really need to do is a ride or two outside to get your bike handling skills back, and then you should be okay. But it's there's things that are like how grabby are your brakes, and how do you reach down between your legs to the frame to get a fuel bottle or water bottle, or reach behind you or something like that. How do you descend to high speed without crashing? How do you go around people on a real twitchy, fast road bike at high speed race conditions without crashing? And his grandmother wanted to take him to go watch a little cousin's baseball game, and I said no. I said, you need to go ride your bike today. Today's Thursday. The race is on Saturday. That way, and that's this afternoon. This evening he needs to go ride his bike. Because if we find out there's something wrong with the bike, then we need to take it into the shop on Friday to get it ready for the race on Saturday. Today is the day, and not getting injured. Because if you don't do that, then you risk wrecking, and then you're injured again. And these are your formative years in sports. And he's already been injured and out a lot lately. So we can't go with an unnecessary risk on a bike wreck because he doesn't have bike handling skills, because he hasn't been riding his bike outside. So he needs to go ride his bike outside. And that, unfortunately, is more important than watching a kindergartner's baseball game, which is good for family to go watch, but we don't need Kai to be out and wrecked from that because he didn't go ride his bike, and I need to go take it in to make sure everything is fine if he finds a problem with it. And I think that's about it. I'm really excited about my running coming back online. And oh, hey, there's that Corvette I've always been looking for. Woo! That's always under a cover. Man, that's a pretty car. It's a 1970s Stingray. It's royal blue. Oh, that's pretty. Good job. Anyway, I'm gonna get off the mic right now and then continue wrapping up here for a second. There's just a couple more things. Out, bang. All right, I'm back. I ran out of time to talk about all the stuff. Let's see. I wanted to mention we've got Hawaii coming up, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show. I'm in Kona, and let's see. Who do I want to win? I guess. Who do I think will win versus who do I want to win, which is always interesting. I think Daniela Reef is a shoe-in for the women's, unless something happens, and I think it'll be between Patrick Lange and Lionel Sanders. Again, maybe Sebastian Kienle for the men. Let's see, who do I want to win? I love Patrick's running form. It's absolutely amazing. But I guess I've been following Lionel and watching him really train and stuff, so I'm a little bit partial to him. And it's really because of the media exposure that he's been giving for himself, making his own videos and publishing them is really smart. It really gets you out there. You run a risk of people hating you because it shows that you don't know entirely everything that you're doing, but nobody really does. You have to be okay with that. And I guess I want to see Lucy Charles win, even though I'm not positive she's going to win. I don't think she's going to win. Instead of Daniela Reef. And I guess it's just because Daniela's, won a bunch already, and it'd be just interesting to see somebody win and somebody else win. Patrick Lang has been doing, fine over the year, but again, it is hard to repeat because of how much your life changes after you win. And I guess that's about it. So let's see how to support the show. You can go to ZenTriathlon.com and click on the links on the left hand side. There's a PayPal support page that you can go to, and you can do a one-time support or a repeating donation, which is kind of cool, like a subscription for a small amount. And all right, we're back. I just got another robocall. I've heard that finally some states are trying to get together and ask Congress to stop this crap. And the robocalls are just getting out of control. Ask FCC to actually do something. That's who it is. Oh my gosh, it's just crazy. All right. You can help support the show with a one-time or recurring donation, and it is so easy. And then we don't have to mess with all that Patreon stuff. We don't have to mess with sponsors and blah, 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 and commercials and ads and all that stuff. You can just support the show or not. And also, I'm about to find time to start coaching a few more people again, I think. So start keeping that in the back of your mind. You got plans for next year. I do coaching, triathlon coaching, especially for people that are looking to start going longer, that are new to the sport, or people that have been in the sport and want to grow and start going longer. I've done 15 Ironmans and an Ultraman, and swam 22 miles nonstop across Lake Tahoe. And let's see, that was a 13.5-hour trek. And let's see, I've done a whole bunch of 50-miler trail runs and a 100-miler trail run, and just a whole bunch of stuff like that. Tons and tons of half Ironmans and Olympic and sprint triathlons, and a lot of self-supported stuff. So when you want to go long and you want to get better at it, or you want to learn how to enjoy doing it, or fold some of that endurance goodness into your life and learn how to do it the Zen way or happiness way, send me an email, Texafornia, TEXAFORNIA @gmail.com, and we can talk. All right, that's it. Everybody stay safe out there, work the uphills, cruise the downhills, and keep the rubber side down. Out.